that's what I call high quality H2O.
Welcome everybody to episode 3 of the Multiverse of Entertainment podcast. We have a good one for you today. My name is James. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Thank you for showing our first 2 episodes lots of love. I greatly appreciate it. And full steam ahead, I say. It's really, really good. Today is going to be a bit of a longer episode, as you just heard at the start of this episode. We are talking about The Waterboy, one of my absolute favorite comedy films. And to help me out with this episode, I roped in a friend of mine, my friend Aaron, aka Sassy Clarence from the pro wrestling world, has joined me for this podcast, and we're going to talk about talk about this movie really, and just reminisce about the good times and the fun times of this movie. So, without further ado, we are on our way to talk about The Waterboy, which released in North America on November 6th, 1998. Enjoy.
He poked me in the eye. Captain Insano shows no mercy.
So, as I've said in the intro, guys, we are talking about The Waterboy, one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies of all time. And while going through this movie, I realized I wanted somebody to come on, and I was like, do you know what? I got a perfect man, because we have a wrestler in the movie, and I thought I'll bring one of my wrestling friends on. I've got my good buddy Aaron here, aka Sassy Beck Clarence. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, thank you.
Oh, good, man. Thank you. First of all, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. A bit unusual, rather, to talk about wrestling and talk about films. And I thought, this one would be a good one to bring you on. Because we got we've seen this movie before. We've seen the film. I know you said you haven't seen it.
In
a long time. I literally watched it like a week ago.
Oh wow!
And dude, the level of like Adam Sandler films through like the late 90s, early 2000s, were like some of his like awesome films. Because you had like Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, The Waterboy, Lil Nicky.
Mm-hmm.
Big Daddy as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, do you remember when you first like watched this film, like The Waterboy, when you first saw it? Because for me, I watched it in school the first time I saw it.
Oh wow! I think the first time I remember seeing this was around a buddy's house. This was when I was about 14 at the time, so this was like 2004 sort of time. So it was like in his flat, and he just had it on like his little collection of DVDs, and we just thought, yeah, we'll put it on. I've not seen the movie before, and see how it is. And in regards to like Adam Sandler films, it's definitely what I would consider one of his more enjoyable movies. Easily.
Yeah, definitely. Because like I think like during this day he was doing like his comedy shows as well as and doing a few like comedy albums as well at the same time, which I've never listened to, and I really want to listen to sometimes one day. But yeah, I agree. Like some of these films, well, the row of these films that we mentioned were probably like some of his best work. Obviously, time comes on. He's got like just run off the top of my head. I pronounce you Jack and Larry, which I think is comical. I think that's brilliant. And Click is another one, and Pixels. I think Pixels is one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies, just because it's video game based. You know what I mean? And
that makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah, I think like top 3 Adam Sandler movies. I think Waterboy is definitely in the top 3. I don't know where do you think?
I'd say in my top 3 of like Adam Sandler movies, I know Happy Gilmore's definitely up there in like top 3. So if I was to like pick, I'd probably go with Happy Gilmore, closely followed by Waterboy.
Ooh, yes.
Third one, I would. Oh, what's that one? I want to say Wedding Singer. Is that?
Oh yes, The Wedding Singer. Yeah,
Yeah, I definitely put that as like 3, just because I just like the way that he did his character. He did this hilarious fucking song in it, which is still in my head to this day. And of course, Billy Idol stars in the movie as well, so that's pretty dope.
Do you know what? For the life of me, I've never seen The Wedding Singer.
You've never seen it?
No, I've never seen it. And like one of the things about doing this show is like some of the films that I haven't seen, I get to watch for the first time, and I can be like, this is good, this is bad. The problem I have is like when people overhype when they hype films. I'm quite guilty of doing this myself with like some of the MCU films, but like when it comes to like certain films, it's like, oh, this is amazing. What was the film? Like we'll get back to the Waterboy in a second. Like the film I was that's it, Beetlejuice.
Yes, I remember
Beetlejuice. yeah, like Beetlejuice. I remember a friends Belle and Carino trying to show me.
I remember it came
Beetlejuice during last Halloween.
Yeah, I remember it came up in conversation and like, getting you to watch it and all that.
Yeah, and I watched it. I sat there watching it, and I was like, by the end of it, I was like, I don't get it. Like it's not my. I just didn't like it, but I think it's because it's the first time watching something like that. It's like I need to rewatch it again to experience it, especially with like a sequel coming out.
Oh yeah. I mean, I totally get that from that point of view. I mean, I'm very fond with the movie Beetlejuice as it is, and I still think it's probably one of my favorite roles Michael Keaton's played.
Yes,
I think second place would, of course, Batman, and third place is a bit of an underrated pick. So there's a movie of his called Birdman, and what was quite cool. What was really cool about it. Again, spoiler warnings to those that haven't seen it, but it really took me by surprise in what the movie was about, because at first I thought, is this going to be one of them movies? But actually, no. What it ended up doing is like, it goes to like sort of the psyche of someone that's spent his whole time playing as this one character in a movie, and then he goes out of his way to go for something a bit more ambitious and stuff like that. And not only did I thought it was a really fun movie, but I felt he played his role well. Who's the bearded fucker from the Hangover movie? Zach Galifianakis?
Zach Galifianakis. I can't say his name properly, sorry.
Hot take, this was probably the best role he was ever in any fucking movie. I'm genuinely serious. I thought he was better in this movie than he was in the Hangover movies and anything fucking else he was in.
Oh, yeah. I know, yeah. I know. It's like, in my head now, I was like, I'm trying to picture his name, but yeah, he's a thing from Hangover, isn't he?
Yeah, he's literally the dude from there. Like, he was... I mean, the Hangover movies weren't really my thing. And, well, he didn't exactly help the case. But it was nice to see him in a movie where he was playing a sort of a different character, but he really, like, did it so fucking well. But, yeah, that's just kind of, like, how I am with, like, just the Michael Keaton movies. Like, Beetlejuice up there, then Batman and Birdman.
Well, I know, just mark down.
I mean, if you haven't seen Birdman, I would say, anytime you get, check it out.
Mark down Sassy Bear for Birdman episode. There you go, sorted. Happy days. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Birdman when I eventually get to see it. But between now and then, between then, there's a lot. Like, there's a lot of films and TV shows I gotta get through first before I get a Birdman. So we probably won't get a Birdman film until probably I don't know, close to the hundreds,
in
maybe.
due time.
In due time. But obviously, we're here to talk about the Waterboy. Waterboy, what a fantastic film this was. In the intro, I would have said when it came out. As I'm recording this now, I'm recording this on the Wednesday, so I'm kind of scrambling to get this done so I can get it edited and whatnot. Because I just had my internet I just moved to a new flat, and my internet literally was installed today, so I haven't been able to record it. I usually record stuff on a Monday and then have it edited, ready to go for Wednesday, and it's out on the following Monday. If you haven't subscribed, if you haven't done so, subscribe on the YouTube channel, or follow us on Spotify if you haven't done so yet. Ding! Anyway, so basically, the Waterboy, we got Adam Sandler, obviously. We got the wonderful Kathy Bates playing Mrs. Boucher. His mother, which is friggin' hilarious. And we've also got Harry Winkler, who is the legendary Fonz from Happy Days. And there's such an array of cast here. So the story is, Adam Sandler plays a 30-year-old man by the name of Bobby Boucher. He's a water boy. He's been a water boy for a high-class American football team since he was a kid. I think he was about 12 years old. And he's been working non-stop, knows how to make water. You see him at the start of the film where he comes out with this like big contraption on his back. Yeah. And he pumps it full of water, and he's like, I probably put the video clip in there. It's like, he drinks it, inspects it, and he goes, "It's clear, and it's cold. That's what I call high quality H2O." And then he gets whacked in the face by a football, and immediately there you already know, like,
that's just the tone of this movie.
Like he is like the bottom note of, he's something you would find under somebody's boot. And as you go on, he goes through this crazy adventure. He gets fired. Getting like, do you remember when he goes in to goes to his table at the start of the film, and then he looks in the suggestion box, and then the first one he sees is "eat shit and die," and then he literally just goes, "That's not what I call constructive criticism, is it?" And he puts it in his pocket for later on. Like, wouldn't you just chuck that stuff away? Like, if anyone's experienced bullying before, I think many of us have had.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But for the last thing you would do is like put the note in your pocket. What do you do? Burn it, save it for later, maybe hang it on the wall of fame.
No, at least with this scene, what it does is it kind of answers the question of, where did Duke Nukem nick the line "eat shit and die"?
Oh yeah, I forgot that was in Duke Nukem.
Yeah,
a lot of things are in Duke Nukem, aren't they?
Oh yeah, like literally just a hodgepodge of all sorts of movies are in there.
Oh, it's brilliant. Like, but as the scene goes on, the football players antagonize him, and then eventually the coach just fires him. He doesn't like the water boy. He never has, and it's just like thing. So he's like, "You're fired," and Bobby's like, "Okay." And then the next scene, you literally see him on a lawnmower on the highway traveling home. And it's such like, I've never been to Louisiana. I've never been there, so I'm not going to insult anybody if you're in Louisiana. Nothing.
I can't say I've been there either.
No, exactly. And I'm pretty sure. Is there somebody? If somebody out there knows somebody who drives home on a lawnmower like that, get in contact with us in the comment section, right? But he comes down through there, and then the next thing you see him arrive at his home, which is like in the middle of the swamp, the Bayou swamp.
So the bayou.
The Bayou swamp. And then the next scene, you all of a sudden you see this giant catfish on the table being slashed, and then you just see Kathy Bates hacking her away like some kind of serial killer, and then she stops, hears the thing, and she's like, a big smile, and you think, this is his mother, and it's like, she seems like this sweet old lady, a bit nuts, but then you realize how much of a control freak she is with like everything. And as soon as he comes in, as soon as he says like something bad happened to me, and she's instantly with the cleaver in her hand, and I'm like, whoa, that escalated fucking quickly. Jesus Christ! Like, I can understand the boy's been bullied, but Jesus, you don't need to resort to fucking killing anybody.
Jesus.
It's like somebody hurt you, Bobby Boucher. Let me know, Mama. No, Mama, no, don't get arrested. Do you know what I mean? Jesus fucking Christ. Fuck. Oh, it's what the fun. And we have to talk about whenever we see these fucking scenes, right? Why is there a giant donkey in the background?
I don't know.
And why is he called Steve?
I don't fucking know.
It's such a random, because as soon as he walks in, as soon as Adam Sandler walks in, he's like, "Hi, Steve," and it's like, I can't make a fucking donkey noise, but like, you know, he's just there, like drinking out of the toilet bowl, and I'm just like, what the?
I know there's like the whole Western trope of like a donkey's kind of like used if someone's like too poor to afford a horse or some shit. Like,
yeah.
In the Wild West or in like some form of like, I don't know, Hispanic Mexican culture, they usually ride on donkeys. But that's about as much as in terms of like knowledge on like donkeys in movies per se. But I don't think there's ever been like, I didn't even know there was donkeys in that sort of bayou area.
I don't either. Initially I thought it was a horse. Because I mean, that's always a fucking donkey. Because one, donkeys aren't that big unless there's a horse-donkey hybrid. A hanky, as I call it. A fucking hanky. Alright? You know? And then it's just like, you see the fucking thing now and again, like, it's even funnier when you get down further. I know we're jumping ahead, but like when he gets further down the line when Mrs. Boucher's in the hospital and he's like bringing all the stuff from the house, and he even brings the fucking donkey into the hospital room, and I'm just sitting there going, this is such a fucking
unique place to just bring a donkey.
Yeah, and like, you gotta think, what the fuck are the nurses thinking and the doctors? You know, there's nothing, obviously we'll talk about it, but like later on, but like they obviously go in and just like look at the fucking donkey, just like, what the fuck is that doing here?
What's that doing in there? Did I forget to take my meds? Did I drink too much? Like,
have I administered too many medication that I've put something in me? What? Fucking great.
Yeah, it would have been just like a normal casual day at the fucking hospital for them, that's for sure.
Yeah, and then when it gets worse, right? Later on, as you go further in the home scenes, he's there in his pajamas, telephone in hand, right, watching WCW on TV, because this is like, I think this is like 96, and he's watching WCW, and he's got Paul White, the Giant, who's playing Captain Insano, and he's like doing a fucking promo with an announcer next to him, who I'm convinced is trying to put on a Tony Schiavone kind of like voice, because he sounds similar to Tony Schiavone, but it's not Tony Schiavone. No. Right? And he's like looking for it, and he's like ringing up, going, you know, he's obviously a big fan and whatnot, and like, do you want somebody? I'm looking for a new job. Do you want to? Would you like to hire me as a water boy? And he's like, how old are you, kid? 12, 13? I'm 31 years old, sir. And they all start fucking creasing.
Yes.
Absolutely fucking laughing.
Remember, he calls him like a virgin or something.
Yes, I'm sure that guy's a virgin, still a virgin, and he's actually barely laughing. And it just cuts away there, and you just think, like, he's trying to be. He's actually, the poor boy's being serious, And this wrestler is like, he thinks he's a kid, but it's actually like a middle-aged, not middle-aged, I'm 33, no, but like 31-year-old man asking to be his water boy. You just think, that's a bit of a dick move, dude. Do you know what I mean? He's asking a legitimate question.
Yeah.
But can you imagine Bobby Boucher giving water to Captain Insano, aka the Giant?
I mean, there's a part of me that's like, I kind of really want to see him as like a manager for Captain Insano. Like, whenever he's like having to like powder out the fucking ring, he just needs to get a break. Just gives him a bottle of water, he just drinks it.
Celebration, just chucking a couple of
the old like Steve Austin way. Like, instead of like beer cans, it's just bottles of water.
Yeah. Like the Kurt Angle thing with the fucking milk.
Oh yeah, where you just put a big truck and a fucking hose. It's just water being sprayed. Yeah. I'd kill to fucking see that. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, that'd be great. Let's pitch that idea to someone. Get one of the trainees get on, and it's like, right, you're my water boy. Okay, you have to speak with a stutter and whatnot. Like, okay, that'd be class. But then he goes off then to find a new job. There's a local university, college. Yeah, college. And then he walks in, finds a guy watching old football tapes of old Mud Dog games. And it's Harry Winkler.
Yeah,
right? And he's just talking to himself. And this is where we catch the ball. We run with the ball, and then we stumble, try and pick it up. The quarterback's got time, fumbles the ball, then decides to pick it up, and then walks away, and then has enough time to score a touchdown before anyone realizes what's happening. And he's just there going, Bobby just turns the light down. Harry Winkler wakes up and goes, hello. And he just asks him, like, do you want a job? Can I have a job, please? He's like, I can't hire you. And then he starts, like, going on this mental trip where he's, like, thinking of a play. He's like, no, he fades to the left. No, he fades to the right. And then goes blank and starts having a panic attack.
Oh, God.
And he's like, having a panic. I can't see. I can't breathe. I can't do anything. And then he's like, Bobby just tells him, sit down. Sit down. And then all of a sudden, he brings out this, like, plastic, like, cylinder, puts his hand to it, and then flicks it. This is like this fucking blue mug, this collapsible mug, gives it to him, pulls the fucking water out, pours in water, gives it to him, drinks it.
Excuse me.
See, if anyone is watching the video version of this, you might see a big explosion with that sneeze. No, joking. And then he's like, then he drinks it, and he's like, oh, that's good. It's like, well, I wonder if I could be your water boy. It's like, I can't hire you. Like, but we're just supplying them with this water, and in the corner it zooms in with dramatic music with this, like, dirty water. And the utter shock on Bobby's face is like, you drink that? It's like, yeah, we drink that. It's like, it is imperative that you must have me as your water boy. I can't hire you. It's like, you don't have to pay me. I'll do it for free, but don't give anyone that water ever again. It's like, okay, I'll see you at practice. And it walks away. It's like, what the fuck? He's like, he's looking for a job, but he's so traumatized by the fucking water that they drink. He's like, I will do it for free.
Wow.
This is where they strip the ball from us, and then we miss one tackle. There are two tackles, right? He drops the ball. Whoops, he has time to pick it up and dust it off and run in for a touchdown before our guys even know what's going on. Hello.
My name is Bobby Boucher, and I am inquiring as to whether you have the need for an experienced water boy on your upcoming season.
Nice suit.
Thank you. It was my daddy's.
Hold that thought.
Yeah.
Shh. Come on. Come here. Come on, everybody. All right, this is it.
Okay.
This is the play. Okay, the quarterback 2 receivers lined up to the left, 1 to the right. There's a flanker lined up to the left, behind the quarterback.
Oh, yeah?
He gives the ball. No, he doesn't. He doesn't get the ball. The receiver goes all the way over there to the left. Once the quarterback has the ball, he fakes to the left. No, he fakes to the right. He doesn't fake. He thinks about fake. He pretends to fake. I don't know where I am. I can't breathe. Oh, this room is getting smaller. I have to sit down.
Hang on here. Take some water. All right, dear.
This is good. This is much better than what I serve.
That is the water that you serve to your place? It is imperative that you allow me to be your water boy.
I can't hire you. I can't hire anybody with a poor.
You do not have to pay me. I will do it for free. Just promise me that you will never distribute the contents of that drug to any human person.
That's a deal.
It's a deal? Thank you so much, Coach Klein. I will not let you down. Good day.
Good day.
I'll see you at practice.
But then, as he go on, he goes to the first practice. He obviously gets like bullied and whatnot. Well, he gets one person who comes up to him, tries to be his friend and whatnot, saying like, "Oh, my water's cold. I prefer my water cold, not warm."
Yeah.
This weird friendship. But then the boys like do a I don't know, fucking phase where they throw the ball at one of the receivers and they crash into him over the table, which leads Harry Winkler going up to him and going, you gotta protect yourself. You got to, like, you know, you got to fight back, like. And he's like, no, I can't fight back. Like Mama said, I can't fight back, like. But then all of a sudden he just like looks at one of them and then imagines somebody else's face, and then he absolutely pounds the field and tackles him, knocks him out. And one of the guys is like, so the quarterback is the one that gives him the most shit, and he's like knocked out, like literally knocked out, and then all of a sudden gives him sniff insults, and he just goes, "Who that? Who there?" And everyone looks at him going, "Can you play football?" And he was like, "Yeah." Well, not yeah, but he was like, "No, I gotta speak to my mama first."
Look at me! I'm the waterboy, dude! I got a wooden spoon, dude! Smell like you could use a shower, Stinky! You're fired! Stop making fun of me! Wow! Damn! He's killed, though!
I'm sorry.
Who that? Who there?
Like that scene, that entire scene where he actually knocks the quarterback out, which, mind you, some of these actors reoccur in majority of these films. These early set films, some of the same actors appear in every single movie up to Big Daddy, I think, and then we don't see him again then for like years.
Yeah,
but like that scene is just so it just sets the movie up then for like, right, he's not just a water boy, you know, he's actually like a lean, mean tackling machine which can help this team win games finally.
Yeah.
It like seeing that scene, it's so funny. Because what does he imagine? He, like, when he imagines tackling people, he like imagines like what, a baby his old coach. I think at one time he fucking imagined his mother as well, didn't he?
Oh,
yeah, he imagined his mother, and then I think one of the most iconic scenes, I think, in that film is where Bobby is going off to the next phase of play, and the coach then just literally grabs him and goes, "Bobby, water sucks. Gatorade's better." And he goes, "What?" He's like, "Use it on the field." And then he just stands there and looks at somebody. His face changes to the coach, and the coach just goes, "Gatorade not only tastes better, it quenches your thirst as well." And he starts going off on this little insane trip where it eventually just goes, "Gatorade." And he's like, "H2O."
Good grief.
And it's like, it keeps going, it goes from one person to another. And then it goes to the entire team, man, where it goes, "Water sucks. It really, really sucks." It's like one of the most iconic scenes in that movie. Like, whenever I say it, when I used to stream and stuff, I used to say it all the time. It's just funny. I will put a clip of that somewhere. It's just so fucking hilarious. Like, the entire clip. Like,
Bobby! Water sucks. Gatorade is better. What? Use it on the field. Gatorade not only quenches your thirst better, it tastes better too, idiot.
You're drinking the wrong water.
Gatorade.
H2O.
Gatorade.
H2O.
Water sucks. It really, really sucks. Water sucks.
No, stop
It
saying
really,
that.
really
You don't mean that.
sucks.
You're bad people.
do you remember that? Like, when that scene came up? Because that's just fucking...
Oh yeah, I remember that scene quite well actually. Now rethinking it back, yeah, there was that scene where they kept saying, "Oh, water sucks, Gatorade's better," and all that shit.
Oh, I fucking broke. That's done. I don't need to do anymore. But then, oh, that's such an iconic fucking scene. But then, you obviously then through the film you get some weird characters as well. You get the mascot who's drunk all the time, right? This is dog drinking. Don't, for the love of God, if you watch this movie, don't give your dog alcohol, for fuck's sake. Don't do that, right? Please don't do that, right? There is a man or a woman. I think it's a woman inside their costume, I think. And then, like, the cheerleaders are all drunk. Nobody really gives a shit until they start winning. And then they're off. As soon as they win, they're off on this journey then to, like one of the biggest games in college football, which is the Bourbon Bowl. And obviously... And obviously, like, when the news gets out about the Waterboy, you've got what have you got? You got a cutscene in the bar then with his old coach. He realizes, oh shit, like he's like, this Waterboy is like this tackling machine that could be a threat to him. It's just great. And then you meet the girl, Vicky, which I think Vicky Valancourt, I think she's like the glue of the movie. I think she's kind of like that. She's that troublesome, like, late 20s, early 30s girl who's on the bad side of the law, who's weirdly attracted to this stuttering, lack of a better term, mama's boy. And they go to, like, another iconic scene. They go to, like, back to Bobby's house, and they're having a barbecue. Vicky's there. Mrs. Boucher's there, and she's looking at her like the fucking devil. Obviously, she says everything's the fucking devil, right?
Yeah.
And they get to this point where Mrs. Boucher becomes like an antagonist to Vicky, and she's saying like Mrs. Boucher is like saying, "Have you ever seen a man do this?" And then Vicky's like, "I like a man who's like this." And it gets to the point then where Bobby's sitting in the middle going, "Mama, no." And it just gets to that point then where she just literally goes, "Well, have you seen, does a 31-year-old man still wet the bed?" It's like, there's a sheet right there. And it cuts to a scene of a sheet covered in piss.
Jesus.
And Bobby just literally gets up and goes, "Excuse me, ladies, while I go kill myself." I'm like,
oh, wow. Jesus.
It's again, it's not as iconic as like the like the water sucks one, but it's one of those things where you can see how overprotective Bobby's mum is, and later on we find out why she's overprotective, and then like Vicky's like, why Vicky's so attracted to Bobby. It's just it's kind of like a weird. It's like one of those weird couples.
Yeah, I mean, the actress that plays Vicky, I think she does a pretty good job with this movie.
Yeah,
and I remember like when looking back at this movie, I'm like, I thought I'd recognize you because I remembered some of the other movies she did, like The Craft, and the movie Return to Oz.
Yes, she
actually played Dorothy. And that was her as a child.
What? She was the little girl in?
Yeah, she was Dorothy in Return to Oz. I'm not even joking.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
I just thought it was like impressive to think that you went from Return to Oz to like this point. And I just think she does a really good job with like the Vicky character, and I've no idea what on earth happened to her. Like it just seems like she's just, I don't know,
disappeared at the face of
the
earth. Yeah, I mean, like, so you kind of mentioned though that she was the girl in the Return to Oz. Now, I was literally going to cut into like the scene where like Bobby sneaks her into his bedroom, gives her like the cold water, and then she tries getting off with him, and then he's like, "Yeah, so that was your first kiss, and then I bet you haven't seen a pair of these." And I'm like, I'm not gonna go there now because like that'll just be fucking weird transition. Anyway, never mind. But yeah, I think she's the glue together. But but it's such a feel good movie towards the end because Bobby's finally had it because they reach the Bourbon Bowl. The team reaches the Bourbon Bowl, and then the party gets crashed by their opponents, which is Bobby's old university that he worked at, and then they realize, oh wait, Bobby's not actually part of the school, so he can't play, but he has to pass a test to get in, which he finds out later on that is it what's his name now? Coach. I can't remember his name. Somebody will tell me what the coach's surname is. But Harry Winkler's character is
Coach Klein.
Coach Klein, that's the one.
Yeah.
And, he's like, everybody hates me, and then he just succumbs with, like, guilt. It's like, I did it.
Yeah.
Because he wanted him to play so bad that he forged a transcript for him to play. But obviously, he had to like study for this like test, and if he passed it, he was eligible to play football for the university, which he had never done. And it gets to that point where he's trying to study, and then his mum antagonizes him to the point where he literally lashes out. And this is where you start to see the Bobby Boucher character start to grow into his own man. Then when he's like, I like school, I like this, I got friends, and saying about the fucking obligat. Oh, that's the one. Why is every white Southern man in Adam Sandler's movie always dress up as Colonel fucking Sanders?
Oh wait, is that the professor teacher? Yeah,
yes.
I've no idea. Yeah, that was it. God, I remember this scene. Basically, like, oh, let's find out what Mama said. Oh, she's wrong again.
And he just like really upset, walks down. It's like something's wrong with his hamburger gag or whatever the fuck the fucking word is. And then Bobby just turns away, looks at him, baffles him. And then you don't see him again until like house party when they first win the game. And he comes down and goes, "Oh, are we still for that test? Yes, sir, we are." And he was like, "Give my regards to your dear sweet mama," and then turns around and slips up the back of the stairs. And then we don't see him again. I think we see him like twice more, where in the hospital scene where I think there's Bobby throws something out the window, and then it travels. He throws something, hits the window, goes through the window, and then literally clobbers him in the fucking head and knocks him out again.
Fucking hell.
And then later on, then you'll see him again in the football game where everybody's cheering and running onto the field, and he's like, "We win!" And then he falls and gets stampeded. So I don't know if he survives or anything. The guy just comically like falls over and gets stampeded by everyone, which is great. But like, it's always a Colonel Sanders character in an Adam Sandler movie, especially in those days.
Yeah.
Even in like The Longest Yard, there's like a Colonel Sanders like guy. Was he like a fan of KFC, or was just like, oh fuck it, just have comedy value and just add a Colonel Sanders in it?
Unless either or, I believe either or. Either he was a fan of KFC, or he just likes the fucking Colonel Sanders look. Yeah, we need to like slot this in somewhere.
It's like, I swear I can't wait to talk about like The Longest Yard one day, because that movie is like,
I'm down for that as well.
You know, when he walks in the front and he introduces the Colonel Sanders character, says, "Oh, Colonel Sanders has been eating his own chicken," and he's just like nods. Oh, I can't wait to talk about that. That's another one. But like, I think so. It gets to the low point in the film, like when, he lashes out, he passes the test and whatnot, and then it gets to the low point then where Bobby's mum ends up in the hospital. But as soon as you cut to the fucking hospital scene, she's laying on the bed with a big fucking smile on her face. Now, I don't know if anyone's been to the hospital lately. If somebody was in the hospital, you wouldn't be there with a big fucking smile on your face, would you? You'd be there in agony.
Well, either there, or you just like either passed out of sleep, or you just have a look on your face that just says, "I'm fucking done." Either or.
Yeah, but this is where that's what always gets me. That's why it's just such a good comedy film. She's just laying there with a big old fucking smile on her face. But as they're talking about, as Coach Klein and Vicky's talking to Bobby, they just cut away like little segments back to Mrs. Boucher, and then there's a point where she just like opens her eye, and you just think, "You son of a bitch! You've just put yourself in hospital because you're a selfish bitch," right? And then as they're about to leave, Vicky just catches her, and she closes her eye really quickly, and Vicky's like, "Did I just see that?" And then she just walks out. This is the low point, I think, because he's like, he feels abandoned by all his friends, and his mother's in hospital, doesn't know what's wrong with her, and Vicky's trying to rally everybody back together, just like this, give him encouragement on New Year's Day, by the way. Yeah, and he's like, and this is where then one of the more iconic characters comes out, is where we get introduced to Rob Schneider.
Oh yeah, the whole "you can do it."
Yes, the whole "you can do it" thing. Because I like Rob Schneider as an actor. I think he's great. He's been in a lot of stuff. All right, a lot of the Adam Sandler stuff. He's hilarious in. He's hilarious in Judge Dredd, the first Judge Dredd film, and like all his other films, like hot chicks and whatnot, and he's great. He's fantastic in them all. But these like you could do it kind of like characters are like his like bread and butter, right? It's just it's so good.
I think he ends up doing it later in like Little Nicky as well, like literally this exact kind of character.
Yeah, he doesn't do it in Happy Gilmore because Happy Gilmore came out before Waterboy, I think. I think Waterboy came out in '98.
Yeah, Waterboy came out in '98.
Yeah, '98, and then and Buster agrees with that as well. And Happy Gilmore came out in '96.
Yes, it did. Yeah.
So Rob Schneider didn't come out, wasn't in Happy Gilmore, as far as I was aware. But it was like Waterboy he first appeared in that we saw, and then he had Big Little Nicky he was in. Big Daddy he was playing playing a pizza guy.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah,
I don't remember. I haven't seen Little Nicky, Big Daddy in such a long time. I don't think he said that in that film, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll cover that one day. But yeah, it's one of those things where he's like, you could do it, but then when they're trying to get everyone together, Vicky just locks on his door, and you just see him with a New Year's hat on, and he's devouring a fucking bunny rabbit.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is why he's a freak. It's like, cut this fucking head off. And I'm just like, this guy is fucking wacko if he's eating rabbits like that. And he cuts this fucking head off. But it's so awkward because like he's like, cut this fucking head off, and everyone's just like, yeah. And he's just there like finger up in the air, just be like, no, but as an acknowledgement, he slowly puts his hand down. It's like, yeah, it's just me. All right, okay, no worries. But then, the movie becomes like a fucking feel-good moment then. When Mrs. Boucher comes round, she's fine, she's all good. And then she tells him about why she's so overprotective. And then all of a sudden, and then she's like, it's all good. We're all good now. Let's go. And she literally looks at him and goes, let's go play foosball. Now, if anyone knows what foosball is, it's like table football.
Yeah.
Right? She can't say football for some reason. She's like, foosball. And every sentence she got is fucking great. It's like, he's not playing tabletop fucking football. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and then, they get to the game in time, halfway through the game, and then it comes to this point where it's like, they win, everyone's lovely, everyone wins. Vicky Valico, like, predicts the score, like, spot on. How? I don't know, but she's just that kind of weird.
Maybe she's weirdly psychic, but we've not been explained about it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those. It's not a guess. It's one of those things.
Yeah,
that's what it's going to be. And it's like, whoa, the commentary team is funny.
Oh yeah.
Final game of the year. Don't hold anything back now. And he's literally like says it like twice or three times, and he just goes, "I know."
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, it's such a good film, man. And then, like, it ends then with Bobby and Vicky getting married. How long after? I have no idea. And then it's like, oh, yeah, it's off happily ever after. And all of a sudden this car comes out, his dad appears.
Oh, his dad, yes.
Yeah, his dad appears, and he's just like this weirdo, and he's just like trying to like
or some shit.
Yeah, yeah. And he's trying to like talk to him and like convince him to like be screw college, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, you just hear this grunt there. It's Mrs. Boucher just literally running from the stairs and tackles him, and he's knocked out. That's like I literally put it down here, like mother, like son. It's like brilliant, brilliant. And he just goes off and be a man. It's like, I'm going to do it. Oh man, the Waterboy, man, is just like this fucking class film. It's so good. It's one of those things. It's one of those movies you could watch over and over again. It would not get boring.
Yeah,
it will not get boring. I think that's it. Anything else you want to add, dude?
Not really much else that I can really add, other than just, you know, a lot of the people that were the cast of this movie did their roles very well. Like Kathy Bates, she is just so fucking good at just portraying as this, you know, this woman that can be sweet, but she's also fucking nuts and psychopathic. And all that just kind of made me think of was, you ever seen the movie Misery, based on the Stephen King book?
No, I haven't. No.
Right, so it's basically like about this man who's like a writer, and he's like in a car accident or some shit, and he wakes up in like the bed, which is like Kathy Bates' little house, and she's like, you know, very sweet and caring and all this shit. And she then discovers that he's like a famous writer and stuff like that, and she's like biggest fan. But then when she reads his book and then realizes one of her favorite characters has basically been murdered in the story, she just loses her fucking shit.
Oh, yeah.
And essentially just forces him to like rewrite the fucking character back into the fucking story so that he doesn't die and shit like that. It's like a precursor to what the fucking internet is now.
Really?
Like, you know how the internet are basically just like, oh, you can't fucking do that, or like,
yeah.
Oh, I'm offended this person. It's literally like that. It's like, how the fuck did this movie foresee the future back in the fucking 80s? Like, but Kathy Bates was just so fucking good with those kind of roles, and this is just no exception.
And what was funny as well, with Kathy Bates, she'd done this movie in 98. The year before, she was in Titanic.
Oh shit, was she?
Yeah, she was in Titanic.
Holy shit.
Yeah, she's playing a character by the name of Molly Brown.
Right. Oh.
Yeah, and she was in that, and you know, she went from like one of the highest grossing movies in the world to like an Adam Sandler comedy film, and it's like, it shows how much of a great actor she is just by the contrast of the two different movies, one serious and a true story.
Oh yeah,
but when I say a true story, I mean like the true story of the ship sinking, not fucking Leonardo DiCaprio fucking Kate Winslet, you know. But like
her being like, draw me like one of your French girls or some shit like
yeah, which fucking hell, I cannot wait to talk about that. That's gonna be like, that's gonna. Well, I've seen Titanic a lot. I'm not ashamed to say it. It's one of the best, one of the best or better James Cameron films out there. That and Aliens, that and Alien 2, Aliens, which is fantastic, and Terminator 2,
I was
obviously.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely.
You know, but yeah.
I mean, I did have a funny Titanic story, but I'll save that for whenever we do like a Titanic episode.
Yeah, we'll save the stuff for Titanic. It's alright. I don't know when I'm doing that yet, but it'll be fast. In terms of scoring, so let's say, what should we do? Fuck it. I don't want to. Everybody does like 10, like out of 10, and I don't want to do out of 10 all the time because some of the podcasters I listen to who inspired me to do this was like, they do like obscure numbers. So considering Bobby is 31, so we go 31. Out of 31, what would you rate this film?
What would I rate Waterboy out of 31? Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
But
mind you, the last two episodes I've done, no one's had a perfect score yet.
Yeah.
There is one movie that I will talk about in the future, which is definitely getting a perfect 10. But I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. Obviously. But what do you reckon? Out of 31?
I think considering it's like, you know, a Waterboy and we're judging it on the scale of, say, like Adam Sandler movies as it is. I would, for Waterboy, I would definitely rate it. I probably would go with a 25. I'd say.
Ooh, 25 is strong.
I mean, it's like I say, it's a good movie, and yeah, there is room for like maybe certain bits to be sort of like changed to make that movie a little higher. But that's kind of where I stand. Like, I feel like critics tend to just shit all over it because it's an Adam Sandler movie, and it's just like, nah. Like, I've seen worse of Adam Sandler movies, if I'm honest, and yeah, this is definitely one of the better ones. I honestly say with Waterboy. So yeah, I think 25 is out of 31 is a fair grade.
Yeah.
For Waterboy.
That's good. I love this movie. This wasn't the first Adam Sandler movie I watched.
No.
I think it was like my third Adam Sandler film I watched. I think I watched Big Daddy first, and then Happy Gilmore, and then Waterboy, and then Little Nicky later on. Yeah, I'd probably give it 28.
Fair? Yeah.
Yeah, 27. Like, I've given everyone like a 7 and an 8 so far. So like, yeah, 27 for the Waterboy, because just how iconic, and some of the memes out of the film is just hilarious.
Yeah.
Especially the fucking Gatorade one is just fucking great. But yeah, no, that's cool, man. Awesome. Do you want to? Yeah, thank you for coming on, dude. I appreciate that. I'm glad this is the first episode I've actually had a guest on, so
nice.
It's been good. Do you want to plug anything while you're here?
I mean, if you want to like catch me anywhere, I mostly stream on Twitch. You could find me on twitch.tv/SassyByClarence. I'm more active on Instagram than Twitter, but you can find me both at Clarence Sassy. I've even got some wrestling content out there on YouTube as well. Just searching Sassy by Clarence, you should be able to find it, no problem. That's all I really got for plug-in wise. Oh, and I have TikTok as well, which you could find under Sassy by Clarence. But yeah, I think in terms of socials and all that, I think that's about as best as I could think of to plug.
No, it's good stuff, man. It'll all be on the description and below on the episode, so go and look at the description, guys.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so we'll play some. I'll play. This is a part where I'll play some like a clip or some music from the movie. I don't know what I'm gonna put in there yet, but dude, cheers! Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. We'll do another one.
Yeah, pleasure's all mine.
I'll figure out which one to do next, but like next week's one's going to be great. So I'm not going to tell you what it is until like the outro. But thanks, dude. I appreciate that, man.
No worries.
Thank you.
Bobby, it's me, your daddy, Roberto.
Daddy?
You know, I seen you on the ESPN when they was talking about you being drafted by the NFL.
Not going to the NFL. I'm going to stay in school and graduate.
The hell with school, dopey. Take the money. You and me could be partners, just like that Tiger Woods and his daddy.
Nice hit, Mama.
Thanks, baby. Now you go on and have some fun becoming a man.
And that's it, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in this week. Really appreciate it. Thank you to my buddy Sassy by Clarence. Go and follow him on all his socials. All the links are down below in the description. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram. Subscribe for free on YouTube for the video version of this podcast. Find us on Spotify. Give us a review. We appreciate the reviews. apparently the reviews help get you noticed, which is a good thing. Don't forget to like the videos on YouTube as well. We post every week. We also post little clips of the next episode every Wednesday on YouTube and on our socials. And we are on TikTok. I'll get this intro and outro right first time. Plenty of time. We're only on episode 3. However, next week is episode 4, and we're diving back into the TV world. And this one is going to be a rather interesting one because we're dealing with our first series, which is one of my favorite, and we're talking about Dragon Ball Z: The Saiyan Saga. Don't miss that. Next week, have a good one. Enjoy. I'm out.